Good evening, everybody. Back for Path of Fate. So, couple of things that didn't get hashed out at the end of last session, but we are able, we can go ahead and deal with now. So, first of all, the way that World of Darkness handles experience is first of all, there's no experience for kills because with it being as story and roleplay heavy of a game as it is, that would not work. That would be a quick track to getting a lot of murder hobos. But what we do have is everybody gets one experience point just for it being there to attend session. So make sure you get that one down. Beyond that, we have, I'm pulling it up just to make sure that I quote all this right. You get 1 point automatically. Each player gets 1 point for participating in a chapter. Another point for the learning curve. Ask the player what their character learned during the chapter's events. If you agree with the response, award the character 1 point. Nobody put anything into the text channel for that. So, are we...
Wait, we're supposed to do that?
That's what I had been intending.
I didn't realize that was your intention.
And yeah.
Yeah, the way that you phrase that, I didn't realize either.
Yeah, and I get that. So what I want, that's part of the reason why I was bringing it up now, because I wanted to go over that really quick. But also, for those of you that are just watching the sessions, there's going to be quite a bit of stuff that happens between sessions over the course of the week, with die rolling happening and things getting thrown into the Discord channel for it. But all of those will be recapped before we start the next session. So yeah, there's quite a bit that happens, or is going to happen off screen functionally. Because hand waving a week's worth of research in session ends up getting a little bit clunky and breaks a lot of the flow of any potential roleplay. Anyway, as far as the rest of the experience points, you have another possible experience point for danger. If you survived against some seriously harsh odds, or as they call it, grave dangers, and if you manage to survive, well, congratulations, you get another experience point for being scared fucking shitless. And then, I'm sorry, no, that was the story one. I skipped ahead. So we've got the automatic one, we've got your learning curve for what did you learn. Role-playing. If the player did a good job of portraying their character, either entertainingly, appropriately, or both. If you veered too far from the character's concept, you might not deserve the reward. Don't be stingy here, yada, yada, yada. Generally speaking, that one's going to be pretty straightforward to get into. Everybody's getting... Let's see, what did I say? Yeah, everybody's getting the roleplay and the experience and the automatic experience point this week at least. Then there's a last potential one for each session for what they call heroism. Characters who rise to the occasion with truly heroic actions or feats of survival and sheer persistence deserve a point. But it then follows up with, do not reward characters who act in stupid or suicidal ways just so that they gain the accolades of the hero. So, not really a thing that's, I believe, terribly likely to be a concern in this group, given how we have exactly one person with anything resembling combat talent.
Hi.
Hi. There you go.
I have a gun.
You have a gun and you can shoot it, Cassie, but that's not quite the same thing.
Yes, Cassie, and I have a shovel.
She has a shovel. See?
Shovels are awesome.
What's your weaponry skill, by the way?
Mine or
One.
Casey's?
Yeah, what weaponry is for the shovel?
Okay, I was like, I don't have a weaponry skill. I have a firearms.
But anyway, so what I wanted to do is we're just going to go left to right on our little character title screen dealio, and just give me a short version of not what your character learned, like fact and information wise, but what did they learn as a like personal growth, whatever the hell kind of a thing from last week's session. So yes.
Caitlin learned that you can't believe your eyes and what you think you see.
So she's already disillusioned with reality.
Somebody walked right up to them, took something, and we did not see it. Like you can't always trust your eyes to tell you like what's actually happening.
Okay. And how about Yumiko?
Himiko learned that even though you have a good memory, just because you remember some things doesn't mean you can always remember every certain thing at all. And also that there might be more than meets the eye. Considering someone was seen on surveillance camera that wasn't seen physically in front of her.
Mm-hmm. All right. And how about Natalie?
Natalie has realized that the off feelings might not, in fact, just be her being paranoid or so. There might actually something be there.
I feel like, hey, I might not be crazy is probably pretty valid. Okay. And what about Ben?
Ben learned that you think you know a person and then they just turn out to be crazy. Or bring a lot of crazy. This happens in more ways than one, because all these people be crazy. Matilda's crazy. The gardener's crazy.
That chick you went on a date with is crazy.
She's also crazy. I
He's
haven't.
about to find out how much crazier.
Brooke seems the only one not crazy. But she don't like him anyway, so it's okay.
All right. Speaking of, I guess that brings us to Brooke.
Honestly, I got no idea. Like, I don't think she's really learned anything. It just like none of this makes any sense. It's just like what the fuck is going on? I don't even.
So no personal growth moment.
No, not really. It's more like what?
That's the
It's just all out of what the fuck is going on.
Okay. All right. So then, at that point, pretty much everyone but Brooke, you get one additional experience point. So you have 3 in total.
Oh, sweet.
Don't spend them just yet. We're gonna save that for later. Which means that after this session, you guys will be like, "Hey, how far does only 3 experience go?" And then everybody's gonna collectively shit themselves.
Gets us nowhere.
Oh no!
Dude,
Experience.
dude.
A little experience goes so far.
It goes very far until you attempt to specialize into the most powerful dots.
Oh no.
And tell you what?
Until you're trying to get that 5th dot.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, as far as to hash out some of what happened over the course of the week, because we're still doing bookkeeping at the moment. There was some investigating done. in regards to the what Matilda's collection was. It's still in her room. Nobody went to go get any of it. You were all kind of having to, through online resources or other things, trying to look up what what this collection was about. So I had rolled. At first I kind of rolled for Casey for part of it. Okay. So it started with we need another roll from anyone who's researching stuff in Matilda's room, either intelligence plus investigation or intelligence plus occult rolls. Those who are looking what's in the books themselves. There were kind of two different revelations. The first one was a cursory looking over of these books, right? And that's where I'll read this part verbatim. After collecting and summarizing this collection by way of taking pictures of the book titles, you all do what digging you can during times in which you're not spoken for by your other responsibilities. Through file sharing and coordinating, you're able to find synopses of the books, and between what you know about the weirdities of the world and the lore you all are familiar with, you're able to find a trend. This collection is disturbingly coherent. Her sorting method gave you a sizable hint, and the gaps have forced some leaps in logic and assumptions, but you can tell there is a line of reasoning where one book has some facet of it reflected in the book next on the shelf, and that book has some facet that leads into the next book. 90% of these books have to be jargon, but it looks like there is a thread going through them. If you want to go over these books and follow what thread exactly and follow that thread exactly, it will take a significant amount of time. At this point, we started rolling what's called an extended action. It was one roll is 1 day of work, and you guys were able to pull your successes together to try and research this thing. In the end, you guys managed to get to that point of having the 20 successes, which I should mention is kind of a fucking lot. And we're able to figure out what's going on with this. So far, you all have been keeping your day tasks going, living your life as normal. Ben has been largely absent after an attempt at making time to help and really getting nothing accomplished, and has since focused on his own work and trying to keep the garage above water. Read as Josh rolled once, got 0 successes, and then was like, nope, fuck it, this is really not my character's wheelhouse. Which makes sense. Continuing, the rest of you, though, managed to make some headway a little at a time, working together to go from one book to the next, finding out over the week that there was indeed always a topic or two that connected one book to the one following it. Where there wasn't a book there, you had to do some jumps yourselves, trying to figure out degrees of separation and figure out some logical loopholes. In the end, these books are all about spiritualism, different takes on divinities through human history, as spirits or gods or some other name, and ways to interact with them through a variety of religions that have no real weight in modern society. One book would talk about ancestor worship in one region of the world, and the next spoke about ancestor worship in a whole different continent, and the similarities thereof. This seems to be a collection that was designed and curated over a number of years in such a way that the whole thing is cross-referenced and cataloged. Now that you've figured out the method behind how it was organized, you can choose to take the collection. And if you do, it will provide a 2 die bonus on any occult skill rolls pertaining to ancient religions, superstitions, or skill checks involving figuring out how a religion forms. But that would mean that you guys would have to take the actual physical collection. So that's all of the between sessions jargon and nonsense. Now the next question is there anything that anybody else wants to bring up as far as bookkeeping, finalizing all that out?
Caitlin also went through and put a backdoor in the school system.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And she has Matilda's class schedule and a bit of her history, like as far as classes, what she's done in the school.
What you have is pretty much her entire student record, functionally.
Yes.
Yeah, and as an out of character note, that was a contested role that Caitlin almost got caught with.
Ooh.
Almost. Not quite, but almost.
There was a point where she rolled 5 successes, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the lead." And then I rolled 5 successes. There was a lot of yelling. Anywho, so I guess all of that said, and welcome to episode 2 for the Path of Fate. Shadows on the Sidewalks. All right. So, the next chapter of the story is going to be actually away from the school. It's going to be up to you guys, Ben, if you're hosting, or if you guys are going to simply be meeting at some sort of some sort of neutral grounds or whatnot, where you guys can try and discuss the notes that you've all been already talking about in text and some phone calls.
Sure, Ben would offer his home as a crash place to put all
Okay.
this stuff.
Which ends up really putting it only about 20 minutes drive away from where everybody else is most of the week anyway. So that's still fairly convenient.
I think that I have a place as well.
Weren't you staying? I thought you were staying on campus.
No, I think I was putting her with a off-campus housing. Just
They could all go to Natalie's cramped little apartment with the cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brooke's probably got
I
also a
think
cramped little
she has
apartment.
an apartment.
I'm the
Okay.
only one with a decent-sized house.
It's a decent-sized apartment. Because she's not paying for it.
And even if she was, she's got resources 3. So
But by the way, I have a truck, so we can haul the collection out.
well, that's okay. Here, just for the sake of simplicity, we're gonna say we're at Ben's house.
Okay.
You guys are all meeting up for a dinner scene, and it's still, mid-June or so. Much like a lot of the Seattle-Tacoma area, it's pretty well wooded, even if it's not immediately around where Ben's house is. Lots of birds and such in the area, and you can almost always see a tree over a roof, because like some of the tallest things in Sumner are maybe 2 stories, if that. So, who's cooking?
Ben. Ben is
Okay.
Ben is on a grill.
All right. So, I guess taking a cue from what you just started talking about, then, go ahead and go ahead and start that discussion while he cooks.
So, we taking those books? Cause I got, and he jerks his head. Ben lives in a basically a renovated warehouse, like an old warehouse that's been turned into something of a 2-story loft. I believe Matt has a picture that he can probably share in his thing while I can't pull up Discord. And out front, yeah, the entire like driveway is encircled by a corrugated steel fence with barbed wire on the top from back when it was an industrial facility. And there's 3 cars like parked out front, and they're obviously were once like totaled, and he's fixed them up. He's like, I got a truck. We can haul them out if we wanted to. Jerking his head towards the little pickup, little Toyota pickup.
That would be theft.
Okay, but we've already broken into a place.
And no one even knows or remembers that it's her place.
Plus, if she stops faking her death, we can always give them back. I'll even write a nice
Really
apology
just
letter.
keeping him safe.
Brooke, you've even said that her parents haven't even showed up. It's been
Yeah.
like 3 weeks at least.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just not especially comfortable with it.
Though, I might suggest my CRV instead of the truck just so that they don't get damaged.
It's got a camper shell on it.
And across that far, we'll probably not get them damaged.
You were cutting out kind of hard, Casey.
God fucking damn it, Discord. Stop it!
That part came through
Of course.
perfectly.
Well, I mean, even if it rains, it's not that far to travel. Like, they won't get totally, damaged.
I'm more just suggesting it because it's not a vehicle I drive to the campus often. It's not gonna immediately be tied to all of us, so, or to me. You can store them in the bottom, down on my base floor. I barely use it. By the way, how y'all like your burgers?
Cooked.
Preferably done.
How done?
I'm
Done.
a vegetarian.
Natalie kind of squints.
What?
Not charred.
Cooked through.
Well
Okay.
done, please.
Well,
Burgers should not have pink.
I mean, a little bit is fine. It's
Steak
not.
can have pink.
yeah, that's Ben's place.
I'm just kidding. Anything's fine.
Are you sure? I can.
I believe that was a case of humor.
It was, and it was funny because you got me.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm just like serious all the time. I get it.
The real question question is, when do we plan on getting the books? I mean, obviously, we don't want to do that when the campus is active.
Being in the Seattle-Tacoma area, that campus will always be active. Subsequently, because things are always active, most people won't. Most people don't look twice. The biggest concern that you would have would be Brick's coworkers, realistically speaking, or anybody in the hallway as you're pulling it out the door of the apartment.
And even then, that's generally only going to be if you're trying to look shady, or you know, if you try and look like you are just supposed to be there, then nobody's going to bother. It really is.
Noted.
I'm just saying that if Cassie and I decided we really wanted to just start robbing some people, it would be really easy.
That's actually really sad.
Look, if you do it,
People in this area don't talk to people.
If you do, they're usually just fine with it, and they'll just go right into the conversation in most cases.
It's just most people aren't going to initiate conversation with somebody walking down the hallway or whatever. Like, unless you're specifically meant to be in a place at the same time and you can tell you have something in common, most people aren't gonna say anything. Why do you move me? Where's my name? I was getting real close to Ben there.
She's been real close to Ben.
She just wants to braid his hair. It's okay.
She does, though.
I can't click on. There we go.
She would totally braid his hair.
Okay, I fixed it. What? But no.
So, I guess the bigger question then, considering what we learned, what's that even tell us about this girl's disappearance?
I'd say ostensibly nothing.
Not too sure, honestly. Just what the fuck.
Oh, I know, she was looking into some weird stuff. And now she's quote unquote dead.
I don't want to jump to conclusions, but you look into weird things and wind up dead, well, any crime show says that weird thing usually, you know.
But Natalie, that's media. That's entertainment. That's not real
And
life.
also, despite whatever happened, so that we all forgot she was even there, she is in fact not dead.
That is exactly what I was going to say.
And if they don't die, you usually have to go in hiding. And you can't tell me that it's just media. I mean, look at all the stories.
We all saw it. You don't have to justify yourself. I'm still blaming drugs, though. Good drugs in the air condenser.
It might be difficult to do, but not necessarily completely impossible.
It's never mind. I mean, it's too much of a coincidence. Weird things
So-
getting looked at. Disappearance.
So what, you think, what, she read a book and the boogeyman came out and took her?
Brooke, this is more than one book. This is a collection. Think of it. Religion, they're changing.
Graphs and what? Intelligence?
Yep, go for it.
Okie dokie.
Oh, Discords. I swear to fuck.
You swear to fuck. Really?
Yes, I swear to fuck.
Damn.
Apparently, she takes her fucking seriously.
I'm watching the connection just go from red to green and then back again. He's just being a bastard.
Discord's drunk.
Go home, Discord.
Okay, so since burgers don't really take too terribly long to cook once the grill's already going and whatnot, Ben's already come in with the burgers, and they're like you can tell that they have been appropriately cooked. Everybody's is very likely to order, but
They're probably not amazing.
no, this is definitely kind of a he's definitely been more engrossed in the conversation because they're burgers. They are in fact burgers. They're passable, but that's about it.
In bed said, "Damn it, Jim, I'm a mechanic, not a cook."
Damn it! Stop trying to cross over this game with the other game on the channel.
Wrong era.
Anyway, so conversation in character.
I don't like the fact that drugs being vented through the facilities makes probably more sense, but it doesn't affect the cameras.
I mean, what's the other explanation? Ghosts?
Wait, you don't actually believe that, do you?
In this case, not exactly.
Not
That would be a
exactly.
very, very specific drug. Like,
Not saying
I'm
that's
not-
necessarily the explanation either, but it seems like the more logical, at least of the two. Because on one hand, we have
I'm not the medical professional here.
Speaking of, Yumiko, would you like to do me a super duper awesome favor and roll me an intelligence? Actually, no. You have eidetic memory. Well, yeah. Go ahead and roll me intelligence plus your medicine.
look. All I'm saying is of
With
the
a plus
two of
2.
these things, it makes more logical sense than a ghost did it.
I'm really
Oh, I wasn't saying a ghost either. Like, ghosts tend to be, from what people tend to say about them, I don't think a ghost would be able to take something out of your hand. If there were ghosts.
And
I don't think I rolled that right.
no, he said
It
medical.
just rolled intelligence in the modifier.
I have medicine highlighted.
Yeah, you do. That's weird. Why is it not?
Is it on sheet roll?
Yes.
There we go. Okay, it's on the upper right. It now says intelligence plus medicine. Go ahead and re-roll it. It looked like it needed to be unselected and then something else select. Oh, jeez.
Shit.
So-
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? She rolled the same. No, never mind.
No, she rolled 2 successes and then 6 successes.
Yes.
So,
She got two tens.
Yumiko, you know for a fact that inhaled hallucinogens could be pumped through an air ventilation system like that, and it could affect everybody in the room very easily. But you also know that the level of, like, the form of hallucination would not be that selective and that universal at the same time.
Okay.
So, like, it's kind of one or the other. Either it would be you, like, if everybody was forgetting people that were there, would be one thing, but the fact that everybody just never even acknowledged one person, there's really no hallucinatory or anything that would do just that.
Plus, they forgot why they were there.
That too.
Okay, just to simplify this, I'll bring that up to the group and not say it actually. So
Is there any form of stimulant that could cause a form of tunnel vision? Like you only focus on what you're focusing on?
But we're also getting the fact that her parents having come in.
Maybe they're in on it.
That would make sense.
What family would benefit from forgetting their daughter?
maybe it wasn't on purpose. Or they're doing. Maybe they're just like all the other students at the college and the faculty members. They're just forgetting.
But it, like Natalie like shifts a bit in her seat, really uncomfortable with the idea.
Ben is munching away at his burger. Eventually he remarks,
Nico just. Go ahead.
"This is not my best burger. Just a pretty shit burger. Where do I even get this shit?"
Nico just stares at hers. She's just staring at hers like it smells weird.
Where do I even get this stuff? He looks at the meat pack. Well, it's yeah, that's probably why.
Winco.
Fake meat.
This is not a good blend of meat fat. I'm gonna go complain.
This is fine. I've eaten worse.
I mean, it's perfectly passable. It's food. It's not gonna make you sick. It's just I could have done better.
Yumiko just eats the bun around the burger.
Are you vegetarian?
No, I'm quite health conscious of what I put inside my body, though.
That's usually not what you hear from a college student, but okay.
I mean, medical student. Makes sense.
Yes, but there's also the psychology students who their first year think they have every diagnosis.
And that's when you give them placebos.
Caitlin's on her phone at this point, absently eating while she's.
just saying, what's going on? I just have a hunch that this isn't just girl goes missing, girl dies. There has to be some connection with the books. Or rather, their topic, not the books. Well, I guess so.
Well, we could always, I don't know, set a trap. I mean, simple dash cam and some flyers that say, "Have you seen this woman?" Where their picture should be enough, right? At least to prove her existence.
I don't know.
We can go to her parents' house and see what if they remember anything.
Is she
So,
local?
so her mom, they're not local. I found her mom on Facebook. Um, there's nothing about Matilda on her Facebook. And she's scrolling through pictures. Not even pictures.
Really?
There's, you know how you can put relationships? She's married to her dad. There's no daughter listed.
Well, that explains it then.
No pictures of Matilda.
That confirms it then.
Hmm.
What does it confirm exactly?
That she doesn't exist to them.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's really confirms it? Maybe there's a rift in the family.
I've seen people with rifts in their family. They still, if they ever had Facebook with connected to them,
Well,
it's
what
still
about
there.
Matilda herself? Did did she have any social media? Or rather, maybe some still existing, because if there's the wipe of the family, in theory, there'd be wipe of her stuff too.
Those of you with eidetic memory know she did have something. She would talk about talking to people over Facebook on occasion. I'll save you doing any rolls, and when somebody goes to try and find it right now, it's not there anymore.
Hey, Caitlin.
Sup?
So you got her family's Facebook. What's about that Wayback Machine website thing?
Oh, like the Internet Archive thing?
Yeah, that thing.
I can look. Um, it's not exactly super easy to use, but I can try.
But it can catch when people delete things, right?
Yeah, and just we should be able to check on like the time frame of her disappearance and now, and we should be able to get a slim idea at least.
One sec, I have to make a roll for that really quick. That's convenient. Um. Okay, so if you're doing it through your phone, then no, you're not rolling because you're not going to find squat.
Laptop.
You would need to do it from a computer. So you're pulling out your laptop and you're going to see if you can dig this out.
Yes.
Okay, so this will be like a 10-minute roll, right?
Okay.
Go ahead and roll and see if you beat the 3
Just intelligence computer.
intelligence computers.
I hit the 3.
You know, I don't remember if this system goes ties for push or ties for
Shit, I don't remember.
yeah.
I don't recall. What's it say?
Nothing.
I guess they never assumed that it would really happen.
Oh no, because this game system's been around for long enough that they would put it on there. I'm also doing a quick cursory thing, trying to see if I can't find anything. Let's see, search tie. Penalties. Capabilities. I want you to search whole words, damn it. Whole words only, thank you.
Reddit. Reddit is unsure.
If an extended and contested action is a tie, the storyteller could rule that ongoing competition is worthless. Perhaps time has run out, or the goal that both sides pursue is no longer available. Debating teams could refuse to quit, but the panel of judges has already decided that neither has won.
So it's basically GM.
If rolls tie or neither results in success, the struggle can continue into the next turn.
While she's working on that, so how we move forward after we figure this out? Like we're gonna try and find her?
I mean, finding any information we can about her might lead us to people to talk to about her.
But it also might lead us in trouble.
Because I was thinking if we can find out like an exact date where all this information on her started disappearing, then we can start taking it around to common haunts of hers, if anyone knows some, and start asking people if they've seen her anytime since then.
I mean,
Common haunts that aren't the college. Because as we've seen with at least that little gathering, no one remembers her. I mean,
well, that wasn't entirely true, though.
right. There were the people closest to her could not remember.
Yeah. So maybe less common haunts and more her casual.
Normally, I'd say ask her friends and family, but that doesn't seem to be. Probably wouldn't be useful in this situation.
It really doesn't.
Well, that's why I said common haunts. There'd be other people who wouldn't quite know you, just like the way, a person who goes to the same bar as you every day might not know your name. Or might know your name but not be too familiar with you. This ain't the theme song to Cheers, after all.
know. I really don't. This isn't the kind of thing that I think would ever involve me.
Natalie, I'm a mechanic, not a private eye. We in the same
I meant
boat.
with trees and flowers.
No, no one bought common sense as a merit. For those of you at home who don't get the joke, when you make your character, you get only 7 points of merits. Things like ambidexterity cost 1 point. Things like, oh, I don't know, kung fu. You could be a master kung fu person, whatever, for like 3 points,
Or you could have common sense.
which costs 4. I'm sorry, I lied. Kung Fu specifically is anywhere from 1 to 5. You'd have to spend 5 to be a master at it.
Technically more because martial arts you don't buy straight out, you buy features of it for individual points. So it'd take more like
Yes.
7.
Either way.
No, not in the default book, Josh. You're thinking about the other one.
Anyway, I could take crafter's sense. It's like common sense, but only for building things.
But anyway, no, Natalie does not have common sense.
Nope.
No one has common sense. It can only be selected at character creation, so none of you will ever have common sense.
I just realized, would I have had a bonus in the computers for my specialty or no?
No,
I didn't think
because you're
so.
not trying to bypass any sort of network security.
Okay. I was just checking. Just making sure.
Mm-hmm. You got a +1 bonus on. Oh no, not for that part. But yeah, you got a +1 bonus from before because you were, you had access to like addresses and stuff to double check.
I understood that part. All right. So if we could check out the bars nearby. Did she like? I don't remember. Did she drink? Did she go out to bars? Those of you who remember a little better than I do.
Ben,
So
I would. Yes.
Ben, this would be something that Ben would know.
I want you to make an intelligence plus wits roll, my good sir.
Intelligence plus wits?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Any modifier?
You're going to. Well, let me see. Well, yeah. I'm going to give you a. You're actually going to get a +2 additional dice on this.
Okay. Modifier 2.
Yep. So, I was going to send it to you over Discord, but I'll just do it here.
I have my phone with Discord in hand, so you can always send it to me through there. So that way it doesn't appear on the video.
Okay.
Ben gives a chuckle. No, she didn't drink. At least that's not how we met. You're really not going to believe it when I say it.
Oh? Question mark?
She was into the street racing circuit. That's
Really?
Yeah, that's how we met. She needed some repairs on the cheap and without too many questions asked.
Hmm.
Huh. I
Which
never took her for that sort.
told you, wouldn't believe it.
I mean, maybe.
I think it would be inappropriate if I knew this much about one of the students.
I personally just found it funny because what mechanic asks questions, especially while you need, 3 extra pairs of tires and a tune-up for your nitrous.
I just mean I don't think I can really contribute here unless, I don't know, someplace I happened to see her turned out to be someplace she happened to frequent.
I
To be fair here, Emily, also, you were security, not police. So, like, the most that you could do to detain people really is, like, to avoid committing a felony, like murder or rape.
I
What? No, I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry, my character's trying to say she has no actual reason to know any
Oh,
place that she
gotcha.
might have hung out because she's a student there, she's a security officer, so they don't really fraternize after.
Yeah, never mind, I misunderstood what you were saying. My bad.
considering the topic she was apparently researching for a while, I'm going to sound a little bit weird on this, but I don't recall seeing her around the sort.
Around what?
The honest truth is, everyone needs a way to blow off steam.
Context, meaning the groupings that would get together and study that stuff, be it religion or just overall occult.
Yeah, you have your profession and you have your way of blowing off steam. You're a gardener and you like your cat.
That sounded a lot worse than you think it did.
He just shrugs. My bad.
Ether's just referring to the cat I actually have, not. She just kind of like waves her hands, like not what you mean.
The point is, it's really not that big a weird thing to have a radically different hobby than your profession.
I may have said it wrong, but it's not the whole hobby. I was more so thinking about groups that we may talk to try and see if they remember her.
Huh.
I don't think I ever seen her with them.
Well, I can move on the street circuit. Anyone else got anything? Anywhere else we can check?
one of you students could possibly check the dorms. Like, I don't know, do a more in-depth search, I guess?
Is there anything in particular that you would be suggesting they look for?
It'd be more so like asking around student body, aka have a bigger pool that you can pull from if anyone knew anything.
Fine. Yumiko and I could check.
I only suggest this because if myself or Brooke looks, it definitely would look weird.
Certainly would.
Yumiko?
I suppose so.
Were there any, did we ever find any personal books in her dorm? Journals or anything like that?
Nope. Not a single one.
Not even an address book.
Not even what?
Never mind. People don't have address books anymore anyway.
It's bad thinking on that. Yeah, no. No, that's completely right.
Except Ben.
What about student mail?
She would have a mailbox in one of the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Say it connected to the dorms? I don't believe so. I believe that's in the central mail building.
Yeah. I don't.
And just
Now that
considering what happened at the little
that is really
party,
cool.
I would imagine there's probably not going to be much there, if anything.
It, it's really illegal to mess with people's mail, but it might not be so illegal to watch people get their mail and possibly record like people or look at the recordings of the people as mailboxes are being checked, because what if she's still getting mail and she's checking it and we still can't see her for some reason because we couldn't see her before? I don't know, I'm just throwing ideas out there.
That is something. But the idea, say this was all planned, that she would disappear at a certain time. Theoretically, she wouldn't have any more mail sent to her.
Forwarded address.
She might though. Only people stopped remembering her. She's still in the system. She's still listed as a student.
But she has a student record, but she's not
Oh.
considered a current
Oh,
student.
she's not? Okay.
No.
I thought she was.
But my experience with even here getting my apparently the old residence mail, they still send it if it ties to a name.
Yeah. And her name is still tied to the dorm. Nobody's taken any of her stuff out of the dorm. It's just she might still be getting mail, and she might still be checking her mailbox because who knows? I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here, guys.
I suppose it's possible.
I think we shouldn't rule anything out.
That includes my idea of about ghosts, but but no, we could set something there. Um, like I think Ben suggested it about the posters, asking if anyone had seen her too. Um, if we have those two locations per se watched, if she does come around, she'd probably try taking down one of the posters, which could at least confirm that yes, we in fact did see her.
Do we have photos of her? I mean, Matt, is there still her student ID picture in her records?
Yes.
Okay, so I have her student ID picture, but we don't have her Facebook or anything.
We it's a little tricky, but we
Do
could
any of
possibly
you have
check
pictures of
her.
her?
If not, we could check the apartment again. Maybe, excuse me. She left a picture or two around.
Would or could any of them, like Yumiko, have pictures of her? I'll check my phone.
I have yet to develop my film, so I probably do.
Actually, Yumiko, did you ever check the pictures that you took at that meeting?
Again, I have yet to develop the film, but I can get it developed soon. Or today.
Because the fact that she was there and you were taking pictures, you might have caught her in one or two frames.
Just for the sake of moving the topic along, if you want to say that she's already had them developed, then we can.
Okay. Then yeah.
Yes, she's in like two of them.
Yumiko pulls out the pictures from her bag and puts them on the table.
Oh, so we could turn these into posters and put them up. But then there's that question of the people who weren't that close are gonna look at it and wonder why we're looking for a dead person. Not saying it's a bad idea, I'm just mentioning that there are people who did remember her.
To be fair, when you go to a funeral and you swear you saw the dead person, at this point, the idea of being crazy, I think, is beyond us.
Going back to those books, where do you think she might have gotten them?
Well, some of them were in, like, I've had to get some of these for studies.
And the rest?
Oh, Cassie, I can tell you that your character would not be picking up things for. Okay.
Sorry, I thought you said last week some of them we would recognize because we had to get them for our studies. Not a lot of them, just a couple.
After looking into the ones that you guys like that were part of this collection and whatnot, like there were some books in the room that were for like some of her humanities that she had to take, but this collection is completely separate from her educational track.
Okay.
This was a personal project that she was doing, and has next to nothing in common. These are all either
Personal interest.
yeah. These are all like weird, like niche textbook kind of things. Uh, um, Anthropological essays. Like some of these are just flat out magazines where there was an article that was relevant in there. Other times it's somebody writing like Native American spiritualism, historic semicolon historical accuracy, things like that. The types of books kind of run the gamut, including some that even look like they because of how they were bound. These are things that are obviously not in recent print. Stuff like that.
I mean,
Okay.
it could have just started of her finding books real cheap. Some libraries actually end up selling books, just bags of them.
I mean, I think that some of them also could have come with, well, I mean, you're a humanities major or all of the other things that she studied. And then you find this book is related and this book is related. I do it with my own collection, and I'm not even, my stuff isn't even that interesting to most people. Computers and communications.
But religion is, I don't know. It seems
Religion is very much humanities.
yes, but to go on usually people look into like all this kind of stuff if they're having like, I don't know, midlife crisis.
Crisis of faith can come at any time. Maybe she was raised very strict something, and once she got out and saw the world, I don't know, it could just be her trying to find herself.
I mean, it really could be anything. The point is that she found them. I mean, as far as where to find them, there's so many online bookstores, and have you ever been book shopping in Seattle?
A few times, yes. But hmm,
Going along with this, Ben walks over to the pile of books they have there. Or have they not collected them yet?
I don't think we had.
You guys are still at the same dinner that you had just broached it at.
Okay. Okay. Then he doesn't do that. Rewind. So,
Remember, he has pictures of the books.
he looks through it. He's looking through his phone, scrolling through the various pictures they took. Okay. He tries to find the oldest book he can find, like the oldest looking one. He slides it across the table to the girls. Find that one and find where it came from. Old books are rare books, right? There can't be too many places where there's something like that sold, right?
I can check.
Not necessarily.
No, he's onto something. We might be looking for an antique store, rather.
Maybe, but just because a book looks old doesn't make it that old. It could just be well worn. It could have lost its jacket.
Well, without the actual books here to check, there's no way to determine which one's actually oldest. So I'm going with what I got here, which is just which book looks the oldest.
That's fair, I suppose.
So I guess that makes it a deciding factor on go get those books, right?
I'm pretty sure we had already decided, and if you guys do it during one of my shifts, I can make sure to be in the area so that you're less likely to run into other security officers.
Awesome.
And I can definitely check to see if anyone online might have it. These books, I mean. But that... Yeah.
If you start plugging in titles, maybe you can find out, when they were printed, reprinted, etc.
That's what I'm meaning to say.
Oh, I got you.
Meanwhile, I'm going to make a quick call. He pulls a little black book out of the inside pocket of his jacket and starts flipping through it.
Date book?
Contacts.
Date book.
Wait, didn't I just say that no one has address books anymore?
I do.
What is this?
It's true, once in a blue moon case.
Sometimes there's contacts you don't want to keep in your cell phone. Cell phones are easy to find unlocked.
Cell phones. If they're in a cell phone, you can drunk text them.
That is also true. But no, this is that's pretty much it. Everyone expects your contacts to be in a cell phone in the 2000s. No one expects them to be in a little black book.
You could still lose that book, and anyone can look in it.
Yes, but are you going to have any idea what you're looking at? He actually slides it across to you.
Well, that depends. Do you just put people's names in, or...
Yeah, it's just names and phone numbers.
If you guys can get the books, I can head to one of the bookshops I know and maybe ask them. I mean, at least cuts down one shop. I mean, there's really no reason to send 4 people to get books, right?
Yeah, you're correct. I wish we had any idea of what bookshop she might have frequented. Of course, there might be information in the books themselves. We need to actually get the books.
Well, I mean, that's kind of simple. Start with the closest shops and slowly radiate out.
Yeah, some places, if they have the books, they they put like a sticker or a stamp saying where they're from, or even bookmarks, just as a reminder of where they got the books. It's basically a marketing technique.
That's also a good point.
Since it seems the conversation is dying down a little bit, is it looking like we're probably about done with this particular scene as the team gets ready to go ready break?
So Brooke, when's your next shift?
Oh, what's today supposed to be?
We'll say it's like a Friday.
All right. Well. Yeah. Tomorrow, I work the afternoon.
When you off?
Late.
Just make it up. It's fine. It's not like it's going to be terribly pressing.
11 o'clock.
That might be late enough. All right, I'll come around at 10 or so to get the books. After that, if they're getting together, I might check with the racers on Matilda's last known locations and appearances.
I don't expect them to know anything, considering everything so far, but, it's good.
I don't know. It's just another thing I can check. He takes back the little black book. Finally finds the number he's looking for. Casey. I pulled a name out of a hat.
Most unfortunate.
Ha 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 ha.
So yes, I think now the conversation's winding down, Matt.
Yeah, and Cassie had to go upstairs. She had to coordinate with tomorrow morning. But yeah, don't look into the character journal at all. Nope, don't do that.
All right, fine, I won't.
At least you spelled it right.
Okay, so addressing the question that I asked in text there, just to clarify for everything that's going on here, who is taking charge of the missing persons poster, or is that a thing that you guys are just not doing?
Ben would have to be involved to get the cameras. He can probably get some dash cams and things like that and hook them up to record. You know, like those little crash cams you put on your mission.
Missing persons poster is what I was asking about.
Talking about making the posters.
Yeah. Is that a thing you guys are not doing anymore, or that you are doing?
I'm not Caitlin's idea.
She's not here at the moment, so if we're gonna... If we're passing it to her, then that's fine.
That sounds like we're passing it to her.
Okay. I think Mika's allergic to conversation tonight.
No, I'm not allergic to conversation.
I'm just being a butt.
As always.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so... all right, one point at a time. Let's go down this to-do list. So we have... Caitlin is going to be... Well, missing person posters is a Caitlin thing. asking around the dorms, Caitlin and Yumiko. Ben checking. Ben is checking the racing circuit. And okay, so yeah, we can get to that in a little bit. And what else was on the books? It's going to be Ben, Yumiko, and Caitlin again. All right. So what else was on the docket of the to-do list?
Wasn't one of them check the or stake out the mail?
Yeah, it was being suggested to
Yeah.
monitor mailboxes, and so that would be kind of one that Brooke would have to do.
Yep, got it.
Yeah, I was planning on having Nelly go around the local bookshops, trying to figure out if they can find anything about if they've seen Matilda.
All right, that'll look about right for everybody.
Yes.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, so the moving the books thing, they were just gonna kind of do that whenever everybody was available, right?
When Brooke was on shift so that she could take that area and keep other guards from patrolling there.
Okay. So, yeah, it's pretty much looking like as far as something a little bit more immediately relevant, is what else are you guys going to be doing for the rest of that night, or is it pretty much just going to be a kind of close up the meal and everybody head their own separate ways?
Yeah, unless someone says something else. That's Brooke's plan.
Okay. I guess for the point of clarity, are your characters going to be hanging out at all as more of a social thing, or are you going to be sticking to the no? We're trying to fix this and get our stuff done.
I'll buy ice cream.
Welcome back, Cassie.
Look, I'm sure that very nice and all, but we're not exactly colleagues. It might be a little weird.
Okay, you are with Natalie.
Natalie just looks at Brooke. You're closer to their age than I am.
And
Called out.
you're not it's not like you're a professor or anything. There's not really any what's the word I'm looking for? Ethics that you aren't already preaching at this point.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I could still get fired for rumors, and
You're hanging out at Ben's house. Ben's not a student. He's just a mechanic that you know.
Oh God, I really don't want to hear that rumor.
Ben just looks up from his phone. She can do whatever she's comfortable with. No one is getting chained to a table or peer pressured into saying.
I'm just saying that there's not really a reason to leave.
And you are all also welcome to the same thing. Crash as long as you want. Couch is open almost all day.
Natalie just kind of like shakes her head. Seriously, it'd look more accurate for you to be hanging out with them than me.
I think it'd still look unprofessional, though, don't you think?
Your campus security. I hate to break it to you, but it's not exactly unheard of.
She has a point though. She does have. I have a rep.
Yes, I get it. I'm security. You have to excuse me. I think I'll be going home.
Ugh. I fucked that up. I definitely fucked that up. Way to go, Natalie.
Ben just shrugs again. Socialization is not an exact science. Give her time.
Science is easy. People are not.
No, they're not.
There was something about ice cream?
Yeah, I was willing to go stop by Safeway and grab some ice cream. Anyone have any requests?
Ben gives a little smirk. Rocky Road.
I don't have a preference.
They have Ben and Jerry's.
I'll take anything strawberry.
Okay, Strawberry Rocky Road.
As I said, it really doesn't matter. I don't have a preference.
Okay. Strawberry Rocky Road and fish food.
Okay, but I don't even think they actually make that as a flavor.
Fish
They
food?
do.
They
They
do.
do.
It's delicious.
So weird.
What? Are you living under a rock, Casey?
I mean, I've never heard of it either, so.
Yeah,
no, I've never
heard of it. What is this?
Oh my goodness.
It's Ben and Jerry's.
It's
fucking.
Ben and
Okay,
Jerry's.
That explains it. I haven't had Ben and Jerry's
Me neither.
ever.
What?
I'm serious.
Okay.
I've never had.
Check it out.
Oh, that actually does sound good.
It is absolutely too rich and delicious, and I love it.
Yeah, it's like It's amazing.
Uh,
That one and Cherry Garcia are my favorites.
See,
I've
that
never
one's
seen
Matt's
Cherry.
favorite.
The Cherry Garcia? No.
Well, it was.
No, it's way too rich. I can't eat it.
You used to get it all the time.
I got it like twice. I would get it if there was nothing else.
Anyway.
Anyway, so for the sake of trying to move on from the scene, probably the things that would get addressed the soonest would be Ben's call to Casey Lingram.
Oh my god.
I don't know why the picture got so small.
I don't either.
Warning. What? Oh, there it is. Picture. Right. So this is Casey Lingram. She's on the other side of the phone, but you know, whatever. All right. So Ben's calling, and Ben she picks up.
Casey.
Hey Ben, what's going on?
Oh, not much. I'm looking for just a little bit of a thing. Except
Donover, we've already talked about that, right? I mean, you were pretty drunk, but my list of my little things that I'm looking for are very much not in common with yours.
No, not that sort of thing.
Oh. The hell? What? What's going on? You okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm looking for a little extra side business. You know, get some money, maybe take a vacation out of town. I'm wondering when the boys are meeting. Might just sling the services around a little bit.
Oh, fuck. I don't think we're doing anything this month. I mean, you know how it is during summer. All the kids that are out come back, and it's a nighttime hobby.
Yeah.
Nights are not very long. One sec. Let me pull up my thing. All right. So looks like John's trying to get something going mid next month.
Oof, that's a ways.
Yeah, well, you know how expensive it is to run these things, and more expensive when you get caught. So yeah.
Right, of course. What date on that? He puts her on speakerphone as he flips over to his calendar.
We're looking at probably somewhere between 16th to 20th, probably.
Got it. 16 to 20.
They're still trying to figure it out. It's going to depend on. Mostly, it's going to depend on how active night patrols are that week. They may cancel it.
Of course. One other question. Maybe you can make this quick. Do you remember a car, a white and pink Lancer LX? Woman driver. She owes me money.
Kinda. Phrase. She only went like 3 times a year with anything. Like I think I only saw her like 3 times last year, maybe. She owes you. She was always pretty upfront.
It's not much, but every little bit helps.
That's fair. Yeah, like, yeah, she always did some of the later events. Straight shots through Renton and whatnot. But, well, that's not true. That's where she started. She started trying to do some of the highway ones going over, Tiger Mountain and whatnot.
But you haven't seen her at all recently?
No, maybe 3 months ago. But yeah, because there was 3 months ago the race on Tiger Mountain, going from there onto I-90. Last person to Bellevue loses.
I swear the girl's a ghost. All right. Well, thanks, Casey. I'll see you at the next event.
Alrighty. Are you gonna be bringing a date next time?
He looks around the table and out where Brooke walked away. Maybe. Why? You got anyone in mind?
Well, they might not have been talking about you, but somebody was asking about the, how did she put it? The closet nerd with the long black locks.
Oh, I was hoping to go by the slut with the leather jacket again.
Oh.
Caitlin is silently laughing her ass off.
As you go.
Well, I'll ask to tell you what, because you still have your Facebook going, right?
Of course.
I'll shoot her a link to you to see if it's talking about the same person.
Cool.
Yeah, as she put it, 8-month dry spell, and she wants to pull somebody's hair.
I'm good to do both.
Alright, well, I've got some crap to get done. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Talk to you soon. Later, Casey.
Click.
Ah, the joy of blind dates. Never know what you're gonna get. He looks around at the other three.
I just break out laughing.
That was just
Closet
staring.
nerd. That's
shaking her
great.
head.
I mean, is it the shirts? It's the shirts, right?
It's just you, says the computer science nerd.
He looks up at the ceiling and shrugs. Can't be anything but what you are.
Not saying being a nerd is a bad thing.
I just hope in this case you're not putting your dick in crazy.
I mean,
There's a
What-
reason he doesn't keep numbers in his phone.
bingo! You have hit upon the second reason why I keep a little black book. Because do you have any idea how crazy goes when they find your phone unlocked?
Yumiko's just shaking her head.
And then she starts calling people that you don't personally jam with, and then everyone hates you. I have been around this block a few times.
Right.
So yeah,
That the only call you need to make for
No.
reaching the racers?
no, just that's the thing. With the race scene, you pretty much just got to know when everyone's gathering and show up. Who's there is there. Who's not is not. Everyone's on their own discretion.
And other than word of mouth, I don't assume you know for sure who's going to show up.
Nope, that's why I took the opportunity to ask about the car.
Huh.
I will note, though.
I noticed she did.
Oh, go ahead, Yumiko.
Sorry. Noticed she didn't forget Matilda.
Probably because she ain't close to her. She's just one of the organizers. She just sees her show up. She probably doesn't know her by anything other than car and first name.
Hmm. Oh, excuse me. Right. That at least gives us a possible time. It's pretty far out, but it's at least something we can look into further.
Yeah, whether it was an actual car or not, doesn't matter. Got the idea out.
Yep. Quick, go to the next event. I got a BRB.
Well, I was going to say, actually, given that it is 15 to 9 here, a lot of this can be role played out later. A lot of this can be role played out off screen. So I think now is probably actually a good point for us to call it, since we've been chatting for 2 hours in this scene. Anybody have any objections? Because we can keep going if you like.
I mean, I don't go into work till 1 p.m. tomorrow, so
I don't mind calling it because I got first day of my new position tomorrow.
Missionary.
That's not a new position.
The most boring of all positions.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and call it here then. We will transfer the to-do list here over onto Discord. And what can be done on Discord, we can do then. And if we end up feeling up for it later, we can also do like a midweek session kind of a deal, where we hash out a couple other things.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
the only day I don't think I can do is Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have a fairly... Yeah, we'll schedule that out off screen. No reason to put that all on there. All right, well, we'll deal with experience points off screen, including spinning it. Thank you all for listening to the RP session here for Path of Fate. I guess the Shadows in the Streets part really didn't come out too terribly much, but either way,
I can change it in post.
whatever. I'll leave it as is. Have a good night, everybody, and stay safe, because you don't know what else might be. Say good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.